Welcome to RPG PhD, the channel where we dive deep into the art and science of tabletop role-playing games. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we're exploring one of the most impactful elements of game design, rewards. Whether you're handing out gold, magical items, or even titles and lands, the way you structure rewards can make or break your campaign. In this episode, we're going beyond simple loot drops. We'll look at the psychological theories that explain why rewards motivate players. We'll also cover practical strategies for balancing treasure and alternative incentives to keep players engaged and invested. Stick around as we break down the theories and tools you can use to turn your rewards and storytelling into gold. Rewards form the backbone of progression and engagement in tabletop RPGs. Whether it's a trove of treasure, a title of nobility, or the trust of a powerful NPC, rewards provide players with tangible and intangible markers of achievement. They create incentive structures that drive action, deepen immersion, and reinforce role-playing decisions. Rewards serve several purposes in tabletop RPGs. Motivation. Encourage players to take risks, solve puzzles, or role-play creatively. Progression. Reflect character growth through wealth, influence, or power. Immersion. Reinforce the game's narrative and setting with thematic rewards. Engagement. Maintain player interest by providing goals and accomplishments. Rewards aren't just about loot. They're tools for storytelling, character growth, and group dynamics. Drawing from behavioral psychology, rewards function as positive reinforcement, strengthening desired behaviors. This principle aligns with Skinner's operant condition theory, where reinforcement increases the likelihood of repeated actions. In tabletop RPGs, rewards for specific actions, such as uncovering lore, defeating enemies, or forming alliances, reinforce exploration, combat prowess, and roleplay. Conversely, inconsistent or excessive rewards may lead to diminished challenge or a feeling of entitlement. Modern video game design often incorporates principles of gamification, which uses extrinsic motivators, such as points, achievements, and unlockable content to drive engagement. In tabletop RPGs, rewards serve a similar function, keeping players invested by offering progression milestones that create a sense of accomplishment. Maslow's hierarchy of needs provides a framework for understanding player motivations in tabletop role-playing games, emphasizing how rewards can fulfill psychological and social needs. First, psychological needs, survival. In-game rewards like food, water, shelter, or basic equipment satisfy survival instincts. These often play a central role in survival campaigns or gritty settings where scarcity drives tension. A group stranded in the wilderness discovers a cache of supplies that ensures survival for another day. Safety needs, security. Rewards related to safety include fortifications, protective gear, or magical wards. Establishing secure bases or safe havens satisfies players' desires to feel protected. Players earn a deed to a fortified keep, offering protection against external threats and a long-term home. Belongingness and love needs, social bonds. Social rewards, such as alliances, titles, or guild memberships, foster feelings of connection and purpose. The party earns honorary membership in a guild, unlocking social privileges and forming lasting bonds with NPCs, for example. Esteem needs, recognition and achievement. Titles, renown, and public recognition fulfill esteem needs, boosting player confidence and reinforcing their in-world accomplishments. So, for example, a character receives a Medal of Honor from the king, elevating their status in the realm and opening new political opportunities. Self-actualization needs. This is personal growth. Rewards that enable characters to fulfill personal quests, unlock hidden talents, or achieve character-driven goals meet this highest tier. So, for example, a wizard uncovers an ancient grimoire that unlocks their latent magical potential, redefining their purpose. By aligning rewards with Maslow's hierarchy, GMs can craft layered incentives that resonate with different player motivations. Campaign arcs can progress through these levels, starting with survival-based rewards and culminating in self-actualization through epic character achievements. Self-determination theory focuses on three core psychological needs that influence motivation and engagement: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Applying these principles to tabletop RPG rewards can create deeply satisfying gameplay experiences. Competence, mastery. Players seek to feel skilled and capable. Rewards that reinforce mastery, such as unlocking new abilities, leveling up, or acquiring legendary weapons, satisfy this need. So, a rogue learns advanced lockpicking techniques after practicing on increasingly difficult traps, reflecting tangible skill growth. Autonomy, freedom of choice. Players want to feel in control of their actions and choices. Rewards tied to decision making, such as building a stronghold, shaping alliances, or managing resources, promote autonomy. So, maybe a party is given the option to rule a small province, deciding its laws, defenses, and trade agreements, allowing for open-ended storytelling. Relatedness, social connection. Players desire meaningful relationships within the game. Social rewards, such as earning the loyalty of NPCs, joining influential factions, or forming rivalries, fulfill this need. So maybe the party saves a town from destruction, earning admiration, and forming personal bonds with key NPCs, creating emotional stakes. Designing rewards that address competence keeps players invested in growth and achievement. Offering choices tied to autonomy empowers players to drive the narrative. Reinforcing social connections through roleplay and rewards builds emotional engagement and world immersion. By incorporating this into the reward system, GMs can align gameplay mechanics with player psychology, ensuring rewards resonate on both functional and emotional levels. Flow theory describes the mental state of being fully immersed in an activity, balancing skill and challenge. In tabletop role-playing games, achieving flow enhances the gaming experience by making players feel deeply engaged and motivated. Key elements of flow in RPGs include clear goals. Players must understand what they are working toward, whether it's defeating a villain, solving a mystery, or claiming treasure. Immediate feedback. Rewards such as gold, titles, or NPC reactions provide reinforcement, letting players know their actions matter. Balanced challenges. Tasks must be difficult enough to be engaging, but not so hard as to cause frustration. Skill progression. Players should feel their characters are growing stronger, unlocking new abilities, and achieving greater feats over time. Loss of self-consciousness. Immersion into the story allows players to experience the game world fully, suspending disbelief and enhancing emotional engagement. So here's some examples. Combat challenges. Players facing waves of enemies feel tension and satisfaction as they overcome each wave, earning small rewards leading up to larger victory. Puzzles and exploration. Solving an ancient riddle grants access to hidden lore, reinforcing curiosity and narrative immersion. Social dynamics. Players navigating political intrigue earn titles and alliances, creating a sense of mastery over complex social webs. Provide escalating challenges to keep players on the edge of their abilities. Incorporate layered rewards, immediate loot, long-term alliances to sustain momentum, and focus on thematic consistency to make rewards feel meaningful and tied to the story. We now shift our focus to the classic treasures and tangible incentives often associated with RPGs. Let's start with gold and currency, the timeless cornerstone of RPG rewards. While gold and magical items represent extrinsic rewards, intrinsic rewards such as meaningful roleplay moments, character development, and moral dilemmas often provide longer lasting engagement. Extrinsic, gaining a magical weapon after defeating a monster. Intrinsic, gaining the respect of a rival faction by sparing their leader. Short-term rewards like gold or equipment provide immediate satisfaction, while long-term rewards such as reputations or alliances create ongoing storylines. Here's some examples of layered rewards. Short-term, the party defeats bandits and loots some gold. Medium-term, they gain favor with a local merchant guild. And long-term, they earn a reputation that draws attention from nobles and enemies alike. Traditional rewards such as gold, magical items, and equipment are the bedrock of many RPG campaigns. They provide tangible resources that empower characters, symbolize progression, and drive motivation. However, managing these rewards requires careful consideration to avoid inflation, loss of challenge, and imbalance. Gold serves as a versatile reward for trade, bribery, and upgrades, but excessive wealth can trivialize resource management and reduce tension. To prevent this, GMs can tie gold to in-game economies, upkeep costs, or introduce large expenditures like fortifications and magical research. Magical items, meanwhile, provide powerful incentives but should be carefully distributed. Tiered systems where items require unlocking through quests or flaws such as curses can maintain balance, or have items that grow with players as they grow in power. Consumable resources like potions and scrolls also add utility without long-term imbalance, encouraging strategic use rather than hoarding. Rewards in tabletop RPGs are more than just loot. They are tools for immersion, engagement, and progression. By incorporating balanced traditional rewards and creative alternatives, GMs can keep players invested without derailing campaigns. Drawing inspiration from reinforcement theories, GMs should aim for meaningful, earned rewards that resonate with their group's motivations. Whether it's a legendary sword, a noble title, or a newfound ally, rewards should feel like stepping stones towards bigger adventures. By integrating these theories, GMs can avoid pitfalls like over-rewarding and power creep, instead offering layered incentives that build tension, reinforce roleplay, and reward creativity. Whether distributing treasure, unlocking abilities, or deepening character relationships, rewards structured around psychological principles create richer, more meaningful experiences for players. And that wraps up our deep dive into the theory of rewards in tabletop role-playing games. We've explored how Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-determination theory, and flow theory can transform your campaigns by creating meaningful, engaging, and balanced rewards. Whether you're handing out treasure, titles, or powerful story moments, the key is to match your rewards to player motivations and keep the narrative momentum strong. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more tips and insights for mastering your tabletop games. Drop a comment below and let me know what's the most memorable reward you've ever given or received in an RPG. Thanks for watching. See you next time.